Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game, 2v2 game. Hello and welcome to this Warno 2v2 game played on this 1v1 map. Today we've got Yourfish and Peanut playing as 4th Dutch and 1st Luftilandy, going up against Jonathan Frisbee and Mooseman playing as 31st Soviet and 119Y Soviet. So we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for the players. There's four of them. Jonathan Frisbee even, Mooseman, Peanut, and Yourfish. So the map they're playing on is quite narrow. You'll notice people play that in 1v1 ranked. They're playing it as a 2v2, which I think it actually says it's designed for. And that's going to give PACT a big advantage, particularly with the MLRS, which they've brought a bit of. So they understand the what's going on here. You know, they understand the advantages because there aren't that many places to hide on this map. So 31st Soviet is big on, yeah, double Prima in 2v2 is common. Even in, like, you know, up to the pro level in tournaments, people are doing this. Double Prima fob. You need a CV next to them. And cannot help but notice that, you know, so he's only got 4 CVs, which is fair enough in a 2v2. The issue is, like, what you're going to put a T-72 BK with it. So basically, a bit of teamwork will be necessary, and Mooseman should give a BMP 1P. You just click it, Shift F, click on your teammate's Prima, and then you don't have to look at it for the rest of the game. It'll just follow the Prima around, get that up vetted. So, you know, there's no point going through every single unit because there's 4 divs, right? So we'll be here all day. But yeah, the general idea with 31st Soviet in 2v2s and team games in general is spam Primas, spam T-72s and win. They get some nice, so 3 cards of supply, including a fob. And then, yeah, like, I mean, I personally, instead of bringing these guys... And I get, you know, they're wheeled, right? And to be honest, it's a nice squad. 8 men with RPGs and smoke for 55 points is pretty cool. But yeah, you just got to rely on your teammate to give you a CV. So depending on how good the friendship is, you know, you might want to bring this instead of this. Because those are both 3-point slots. Because this guy's going to struggle to follow a Prima around, right? So... yeah, with the Saperi RPO, like, it can work. Honestly, I'd bring it in the BTR 60PB. I think they're pretty cool. And if you're going to have it at no vet, you have to make sure you've always got a Streltsy in front of it to tank them rounds. Otherwise, just bring it at 1 vet. The gap from 0 vet to 1 vet is massive. So if you look at the stress recovery, 0.6 per second, 1.9 per second, right? So it's more than 3 times more. From 1 to 2, it only goes up by 0.5, 0.4, right? Whereas here it's going up by 1.3. So yeah, it's nice to have things at 1 vet, but you might run out. But as long as you're careful with your units, if you're not careful with your units, then yeah, have it at no vet. BMP2, okay. Yeah, on this map, I don't know how much BMP2 action you're going to get, because at close range, they will die to a tank. So yeah, only having 1 card is probably quite sensible. And then Streltsys, honestly, you might want to consider this 30mm grenade launcher squad instead of one of the Streltsy cards. And I prefer the Conkers to the Unspeakable one. If you're going to bring 2 cards of ATGMs, then yeah, one of them should be an Unspeakable one. But the point is that this can one-shot 6 side armor. You might think, okay, who cares? It's the side armor on this tank. All these tanks. So yeah, it's pretty important. And like in side shot these in 1 shot as well. So the Conkers is better. Like you get a lot more for your money. So I'd be thinking about that. Like I said, we're not going to go through every unit, although I've noticed I've started doing it. Gvozdika's crap, man. I mean, if you want to actually hurt somebody with howitzers, I'd bring the Acacia. If you want smoke, then you've got these, which go mega range for no particular reason. And then, yeah, spamming out the T-72s at 1 vet and 2 vet. Okay, like I said, we're not going to go through every unit. You do need something to help you see. So, like, okay, so you... like, maybe you want to open with this. and in 1v1 it can work, but you got to buy a jet to keep it alive. I guess you got plenty of those. Right. Just downvet this, right, and then just get rid of these. Now you got 4 more AP. Said I won't go through everyone. This is nice against helos, actually, so you don't want this one, you want this one. And, yeah, against infantry you want this. That's really cool. Really cool against infantry. Now you're saving 2 AP, which is still not enough to sort this out. There's another 2 there. Like, yeah, this is super nice against it. If you really do want this. It's a 2 AP slot. Right, so what's the point in bringing this when you've got 4 of them here? So why not just downvet that? Now you've got 6. I can definitely get rid of that. And then, yeah, so you either want this for very good optics, or you want this for, you want this really, the B-Man, because it can shoot rockets at ground units, and it's got smoke. It's really good. And it's 6 availability for very good optics. So yeah, you want that. Whoops. And if you're not planning on opening with this, right, if you're not planning on buying this at the start, it just shouldn't be there. And then you got to buy jets to defend it, and it's kind of hard to do that in a 2v2. If you want a recon helo, I'd bring this. Obviously, in a div like 27Y, you don't have a choice, but here you've got a choice, and this is nice. You can survive any manpad here. It gives you ECM. The jammer thing's pretty useful in 2v2 because it's going to be hovering around your guys, and it'll prevent them from enemies from getting corrected shot on you. So that's pretty useful. Like I said, we're not covering every unit. His teammate is playing 119Y, which is good as well because of the Spetsnaz OP. The Burrito, okay. I don't understand the Gvozdika obsession. He's got 2 AP spare for some reason. It might have been I was messing with the deck or something. I'm not sure what happened there. But, like, you know, you'd want the Seed, most likely, because of all the Eyehawks and the Gepards. I must have been messing around with the deck, or I must have right-clicked something by accident. So, yeah, like I said, we're not going to go through every unit. 3 cards of supply, okay, you're going to be sat there and you're going to be using the mega expensive Burrito, but on a map this narrow, I mean, it's a reasonably narrow 1v1 map because of the lakes and stuff, and they played it as a 2v2, so you're going to have a good time with that. Yeah, lots of tanks at 1 vet, these at 2 vets, so you can get them out at the start. CVs, 5 CVs, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, a bit more infantry would be nice, but like, look, there's loads of infantry here. Got another one of these guys. Maybe they will open with them all. I'd upvet that. You don't need 7 of those. And yeah, I mean, there's 2 AP spare, so I'll put it where you want. I've seen people bring the Escortini and basically you just fire these rockets and then you piss off. It's pretty funny, actually, because you'll note that like this has more normal, but this has more range. So it's pretty funny if you do that. The alternative would be to get another tank, right? And yeah, I mean, I guess if you... So presumably this has been brought because you don't actually have a smoke mortar. But I guarantee you we won't see them use any smoke this game. But yeah, okay, if you're going to bring this for smoke, it should be at 1 vet. Otherwise it can't maintain a consistent patch of smoke because it takes too long to reload. And you should put a CV next to it so they're 2 vet. Yeah. The opponents, we got Peanut here, so this composition's alright, to tell you the truth. Because these guys get the Eyehawks and then these guys do the infantry. On such a narrow map, these kind of lighter divs like this aren't as good. Because you just end up funneled into death. But it can still work. So, yeah, 3 cards of supply, 2 RT, and then 2 cards of supply, which is fair enough for these guys. 2, 4, 6 CVs, 2, 4, 6 CVs. I mean, so the way this map's going to work is everybody's going to get RT'd, all the CVs are going to get RT'd, so it can make sense to actually bring plenty of CVs. I haven't seen the game yet, but I mean, I just know from Mount River Assault, I know what's going to happen. Everybody's going to get artied. Yeah, like I said, I won't go through every unit. I mean, these are just fairly normal 1v1 decks. They look a lot like mine, actually. The only one I sort of change is, so like here, this thing's so bad, man. But I guess they just need it for the satchels. So there's no satchels here, so okay, that's fair enough, really. Bringing stuff at 2 vet. In 1v1, you'd bring these at 2 vet, but this isn't 1v1, you're going to get artied a lot, so that's fair enough. But apart from that, I mean, it all looks fairly straightforward, really. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all good. Then the teammate Peanut, he's playing this wonderful div. I think the picks are mostly good. So the funny thing is, right, so if you want to do airborne forward deployment, you need to be able to defend your guys from the air. So you can open with some jets if you want, or you could swap this out for this one. So the reason this is better is because its base accuracy is twice as high. Because that's how it works. If you put an extra gun barrel on it, your accuracy gets twice as high. This is airborne forward deployment, which is nice. So if you put it at 2 vet, you actually get 20% accuracy. Its salvo length is less, but the aim time and the reload time are actually slightly lower. And so now it is basically as good as a Zvillinger for 5 points less, and it's airborne forward deployment, but you do lose 2 availability. So you want this one really on this div because you're getting that boost. The other divs that get this like sort of without the first leg up, it's not really like this, for example, at 2 vet you only get 4, whereas this you get 7. So you want this one really. And then yeah, everything else looks fairly straightforward. Like there's not much to say. You could get, yeah, it's just 3 tanks. So you could get some more tanks if you want, but like... And then this thing, so it's not as good as the other one, but it's self-propelled, so you don't have to worry about counter-battery, which is nice, but it literally doesn't fire as fast or as far, so it's actually a lot worse, which is a shame. So yeah, you just sort of coerced into having to micro these for 40 minutes, which is a big shame. Everything else seems fairly straightforward. Like, I mean, there's a couple, like... I don't know what the hell's going on with this kind of thing. So if you're in a 1v1, this thing can make sense because you can sneak around the sides. You get 12 of them, which is crazy, so you can even 2-vet it. But yeah, you really want this. This is a really nice unit. It's a really nice unit. You can even up-vet it to 2-vet. Like, these MMG teams are pretty cracked, frankly. So you need to find a way to put that in. So you could get rid of the CV, right? Because, you know, it's a 2-pointer, 3-pointer. You could get rid of the CV because, so what? It's a 2v2 on a 1v1 map. So you could get rid of this and put this in. Really, really nice. And if you find you've run, like, you just want to buy all of them, basically. The MG teams in this game are stupid. They're like Toad AA guns, but people don't know about them as much. But almost every div in the game gets them. So that's enough deck yappage. Now we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments in the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, yeah, they're playing it on like the old version of this map. So it's pretty unfair for red because you may notice there's a zone missing here. So yeah, this is pretty unfair. That's why the new one was released, because this zone is just way closer to the blue side. And so red doesn't have, you know, much of a chance here. Depending on whether or not they've noticed that, basically red should just rush sign as much as possible and worry about Paul later. Like, you can see, like, this is in the middle, and this is just over here. Why? Yeah. But in general, you'd think red would have a huge advantage here, because this is a 1v1 map, and it's a pretty narrow 1v1 map. I know when you zoom out, wow, look at all the space, but actually no, because there's a big river here which cuts off this entire point of the map. I mean, obviously you can go around the sides if you want, but it does happen, but it's very rare. And then there's these 2 lakes here, and this third lake, I suppose. Right, so this basically cuts off all this. You can and should send like 1 or 2 units this way over the course of a game, particularly if you're a lighter div, try and get behind the enemy. But you see that actually you're just playing on this narrow strip of land that's like there. More or less, right? I know it's like more here and then there, right? But it's a very narrow map, and so PACT should just arty spam NATO to death. I mean, they should just really roll over them quite easily. All they have to do is slow the game down and just buy all the arty and just kill them. Yeah, in terms of the general compositions, airborne plus tank div, right? Lufty Landy plus 4th Dutch. That's a good combination. And 31st plus 119Y is going to be a bit slower off the bat. 119Y does have airborne deployment, but it depends how much he feels like helping his friend. I'm looking at the deployment, and it looks like he's not helping his friend at all, which is sadly quite typical. So looking at the deployments, we've got some Dutch here, beautiful language. No idea what that says. Something, can you go here with a forward deployed ATGM? Wow, it's practically English. That's my assumption. I mean, it could be anything. I don't know what else he'd be talking about, though. Anyway, we're blimbing over here. So, Fallschirmjäger and Höchstbegehrsjäger, or Hochgebirgsjäger. So the Fallschirmjäger have the AT, and the Hochgebirgsjäger. How do you say Hochgebirgs? How do you go from the H to the G is hard. Jäger. Anyway, they're good against infantry. And then we got a Lux and a Leopard 1A5 recon variants. We got a CV for, because yeah, there's actually 2 extra zones here. Elena, Ivan, Paul. And they are forward deployed. And then we got another forward deployed CV from Peanut here going to Olga. So he's helping his teammate out a little bit. Could have given him a Milan too, maybe. I guess that's probably what he asks for, but probably what he's asking for. He didn't get it. Anyway, yeah, so he's going for Sign. With a Fallschirmjäger, a Milan 2, and a Hochgebirgsjäger. Then we've got a Lux and another Leopard 1A5. I'm quite interested in this combo. I don't really see what the point is. I mean, this has very good optics, I guess, and this is only good, so maybe that, like, this is the recon, and this is the tank. I suppose that makes sense. Then, Ein Guerillion units, as they say in German. So an Eyehawk, a Gebirgsjäger, 3 M40 things. I mean, we spoke about this in the deck review. I think in a 1v1 these can work, and they're pretty good because of how many you get. But in a 2v2, the ground becomes saturated very quickly, especially on a map this narrow. And so these aren't too useful past like the first minute. So you might want to, I would just put an MG team in instead. And then the Dutch guys here as well, actually. So we got, 3 Panzer Infanterie and Leopard 2A4. 2 Cheetahs, which are upgraded Gepards. I'd have 1 Cheetah, 1 Eyehawk, because the Cheetah gets 1 damage and the Eyehawk deals 9. Then we've got a Luftgebirgsjäger trying to run in there. We'll see if that works. On the right, not too much. So Stinger. Okay, it's going to Olga. 2 Totus, an Eyehawk, and Recon, Panzer Infantry. So so this is really slow because it's a tracked vehicle. It's an M113. So you want the KCT Vinegar going here, and the slow one going to wherever, you can back him up if you want. And then, an IFE. Switching to their opponent's deployment. Like, these guys, they're working together, they've got a plan. Their opponents, I think, have the better draft, but they're not working together, right? So, they're lane-brained, so I go on this lane. I go on this lane. Whereas I think Blue has correctly identified that really nothing really happens here because of how narrow it is. It's kind of hard to get things to happen. The target saturation is very high. It helps Red because he can just drag up a burrito to behind this building and just blow all this up. And so they're going hard on this side. But yeah, 119Y gets airborne forward deployment, and 31st Soviet doesn't. So basically, 119Y should be giving his teammate an OP Spetsnaz. You know, go into here. Go into here. Right? And he should be giving him another one going to about here. But yeah, this zone is... Wait, no, hang on a minute. Have I got that wrong? No, I haven't, because Ivan is Boris. Paul is just a middle zone. It's just in the wrong place. That's why the new version of the map was made. Anyway, we got some igloos, Saperi RPO, a Razvedka. That's we'll see if he makes it, because there tends to be something here shooting you. I've noticed they haven't bothered putting like a TOW 2 in here, which is really common. Or you could buy a Jaguar 2. So yeah, I know this was NATO's deployment, but basically the first Lufty-Landy guy should have a Jaguar 2 there, rather than that Recon Leopard. Get a Jaguar 2 there, and it will fire TOW 2s down this road the whole game, and if they're tracked and they come this way, it's going to die here, so it's very good spot. Yeah, we got a CV. He's got auto cell on, so it's just the transport's going to disappear, and then he's not going to be able to get it to Boris. 2 T-72s on fast move orders. This is a really bad idea. You're going to get shot by somebody here, basically. And because it's on a fast move, it won't even automatically turn to face it. You want to put this behind the building, because if you try and put it on the building, it'll fly over it, and then it'll say, I can't land there, and then it'll go here, and then it'll land. Or it'll go here, and then it'll land, which is obviously really bad. So you might as well just save yourself the time. And then, yeah, they did actually open with... We spoke about this in the deck review. I was like, if you're not going to open with these, it's pointless. But they did actually open with them. So, yeah, fair enough. But hopefully they've opened with a couple of jets. Otherwise, everybody's going to die. Yeah, some infantry coming in there. So, that's it for the deployments. Now let's cast the game. Right, so we're blimbing. And it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get their videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest levels with 2,000 views in ad revenue equivalents. And yeah, this is my sole source of income, which is why I shill like my life depends on it, because it does. And I also live stream every day, which most people don't seem to know about. I live stream every day at 5:30 UK time. All you got to do is click on my channel logo and just go on the live tab and you'll see all of them, because it's not like Twitch where they get deleted, they just keep going. So really good opener from Red here. They understood the assignment of, if I want to use this, I gotta open with the good old ASFs. Sadly, he's just wasted all his rounds on this Lux instead of killing these in the transport. I think that was just automatic basically. Because, yeah, if he just shot the transports there, they would have died pretty fast. This guy got down as well, which is pretty rough when you've got 4 ASFs or whatever. But yeah, this seemed to work well. This one could have come further forwards, right? Isn't that sort of the point? But yeah, this was a good opener, actually. So they recognised, okay, our forward deployment isn't as good, so we're going to open with the helos and the jets. And as we know from the deck review, because as you can see, these rockets aren't very good against vehicles, like, at all. But yeah, once the jets evac, you gotta hide the helos, basically. This guy's only got 1 rocket, and like this has to go hide now. You can't just leave it there. It'll just dive it, because that's 3. It's like a 3-point recon slot, and you only get 1 of them. It's very hard to use properly. Wow, it's a 40% chance to happen. That's not as bad as I thought it was. I guess because he's a CV, right? So he's up there. Yeah. What was I doing? I was shilling, right? I was talking about I livestream. So TOW 2's one-shot T-55As or TO-55s, but the Milan 2 doesn't. So yeah, the TOW 2 is quite powerful in that regard, and I think Red got off to a good start. But so he realised his mistake here, so that didn't get sold or whatever, and they've sorted this out kind of, but they need to sort it out a bit more. And honestly, like, pushing here is a massive waste of time, but they're trying it anyway. The issue is, of course, these get one-shot by the TOW 2s, so that's not great. So he could bring this forwards and actually use it, you know. Anyway, they left the helos around, and that was an expensive one. It's an expensive one. Look, it's got the eyeballs. And he came around and killed this one as well. So I did say, obviously this game happened in the past, right? But yeah, as soon as the jets go down, you need to get your helos somewhere safe. And you either, as soon as it comes in, you land it. But if your micro's not good enough for that, you just keep it somewhere landed, behind something where he can't alter you. Because, yeah, now they've lost those. The TOW2s are slowly going down. Like, Red's making this happen. He does have to be careful because there's another TOW2. But, yeah, he's making it work. Needs a bit more AA, I think. Because, yeah, this could just come in and snipe the front one. So, Razvedka BMP2 going to also go down to a TOW2. T-72A is going to lose this fight because it wouldn't win that anyway, and also he got hit by Carl Gustav, so his cohesion went low. So yeah, this is a big problem for... because keep in mind, there's basically 2 players here, and only half a player here. Because it's so narrow, he can hold it quite easily. So, like, Mooseman is basically entirely focused on this side. LGBT came in, as anticipated. And... yeah, now he's going to buy 4 Razvedka BMP2s, which is a terrible idea. Put them all in the same place. This guy's dead. Gotta be careful with your jets. This is actually a huge... Actually, no, 31st gets Cubs, doesn't it? Yeah, there's one. So this should be all the way up here. But yeah, this is, you know, 1.5v1. And this is 1v.5, and he can't make it work because, I mean, to be honest, if he kept pushing, he'd actually get all this because there's nothing there. This TOW2, you know, can kill this, but if this guy just runs into it and then a bit of fancy footwork, you come out here, you shoot once, you go back in. But yeah, look, it's just so easy to just bottleneck this, so I think Blue's strategy was a lot better. Their sort of overall game plan. I think Red's opener was clearly better. They thought about what they had to do. And yeah, first lufty landy, not bring in the... and there goes another helo, right? It's just going to keep happening. So he buys another one. So there you go, he got the kill, and that was at 2 there. And then he flies over the enemy Ihawk so he can die. I don't know if he'd just evac there, he would have been fine. I'm not sure why he did that. Maybe he was going for this. And yeah, this is not looking great for Red. At all. So, CV coming around here, and I don't, you know, this is a waste of time, basically. I would just kind of, for starters, you got to help your teammate out. You can't just let him lose all his zones. Yeah, like, leaving them all here doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, one here would be nice, and then just get a few over here, right? Because you need to hold mid. Su-24M. Oh, it survives because the helicopter gets shot by the cheater instead of the plane. I didn't see where the bomb... The bombs land so slowly. It's a bit silly, really. It's like, yeah, you could spend a lot of time counting. Sorry, I've got a lump in my throat. I did a cast last Saturday. It's recording this on a Thursday, and I don't know, my voice just hasn't recovered. I guess because, you know, so I spend 2 to 3 hours a day making the videos, so that's like 2 hours of recording, I guess. Speaking, you know, don't have to speak when I make a thumbnail. Cracker getting the kill there, proving white people can do it too. But it turns out that I was going to say, like, peanuts are superior to crackers, you know, because, like, the snappy thing, but it's actually the same guy, so it doesn't really make sense. There was something that could have been done there, I think. Anyway, you can put an ATGM here. That's very nice, because it just shoots everybody coming down the road. But yeah, Red's really struggling here. Their very aggressive opener was, in hindsight, probably a mistake. Because all that happened was they had to spend loads and loads and loads of points on planes. And then Blue just walked into them. Still all to play for, though. I know it's a +2, but, you know, I mean, if these guys actually attacked, they could sort this out. But the main thing he needs is another Tunguska. And honestly, just turn the guns off. So there you go, the Cubs firing, and then this should be moved up, really. It shouldn't be so far away, and the Tunguska should move after shooting. And, yeah, get a supply up here. You know, get some of that combined arms in. I'm seeing a lot of... I need 3 Saperi RPOs. I need 2 Arty pieces. I need 3 Razvedka VMP2s. This is a bit more sort of mixed, right? Although that's 2 different people. So the TO-55s are really good. Although, you know, they are more expensive than they used to be. They're not going to be a Leopard 2A4. You need to run away now. You do 1 damage to him. He's just going to stay there and die. Okay. So yeah, the Malyuka could come round to, you know, here and then shoot from the forest, and it'd be good stealth. This should beat the Leopard 1. Although it got routed, and I think it like missed it, and now it's dead because it's routing into the path of the Leopard 2. Although the Leopard 2 has decided it wants to shoot another target because of the target switching in this game and how dumb it is. You know, he's got 2 guys he could kill there, but he goes for the one that's got the high cohesion. I just want to really point this out to you so I can use it in a separate video about this topic. So yes, as you can see, if you're watching that separate video, check the link in the description for the full game. Yeah, the target switching shenanigans, very, very frustrating. So that happens in 2 flavors. The first one is if something more dangerous, units have a hidden dangerousness stat. And if something is, oh no, why is he revealing? He's dead. I mean, this should just come and kill him. So listen, you can fire this. You can only just turn the gun off, leave the missiles on, and it'll still fire. Anyway, these are just not going to make it. I mean, you just dive in Eyehawks is not ideal, really. This needs to be evac right now. No, he just really wants to kill that 60 point whatever. Although the Eyehawk has actually run out of bullets, so maybe that makes sense. Something I didn't consider. And yeah, we need a supply here. We need a supply here. The other side, I mean, they've got supply, but they've used it, so they need more supply. You need supply for your Eyehawks. This guy's still going. It's because the Eyehawks are all out of ammo. He's going to get evac by that cheetah, though. And the Stinger won't kill him if it hits. It does not hit. So, yeah, like, progress is being made here. The Strela 10M3 is amphibious. Or the Strela 10M, I think, is amphibious. So that can go, like, here. Anyway, Gvozdika going on the Eyehawk. Higher caliber stuff is much more recommended if you actually want to kill that. That does have corrected shot, and as you can see, it's not doing anything. So, yeah, I mean, red needs more. Okay, so T80U here, that's perfect. Although he needs a recon, because this is just going to shoot him and he won't be able to see it. These 2-vet F4Fs, they're 2-vet by default, because it's first lufty landy, so that's how they sort of balanced them. And, yeah, Eyehawk getting missed. The last round hit it, so that's the problem with the Gvozdikas. Anyway, need some supply here, you know, might get side shot maybe, I don't know. This guy should be in the building so he doesn't die, and there really should be a Conkers in here. Although, as we know from the deck review, one of them doesn't bring the Conkers, he brings the Unspeakable one. Was that T80U? No, it's an OT something. So, that's a really good bombing run actually if it's going on this. It's not, it's going for these guys. I guess he doesn't... No, I mean, still... Did it get out? I mean, if it gets out, it's good. But yeah, you want to send a seed in front. But yeah, this guy is going to get routed now, or at least stunned. Because of this, so you got to be careful, right? You got to be paying attention. This guy should be in the forest instead of hanging out in the open. Move up this motor Strelky to here, get the BMP2 to, you know... Because if you get it to here, it can shoot, right? So Saperi RPO, need to go build into building, because if he's in the open here, he's just going to rout. Like, he's going to die really quickly, and he's going to rout, so... it's a shame, really. Yeah, so he's noticed. He's going for the building now. Eyehawk gets missed. Big shame, really. He's been trying to kill that. And, yeah, you gotta, you know, use the trees. There really should be an ATGM in here, and this is very important, actually. This is sort of... If you want to win your zones, you need to be in here. You need to be in here. You need to come up here and shoot everybody. Because, yeah, it's rough. It is rough. So, T80U needs some supply. Still shoot his reflex with the 45% accuracy and not hit anything. And you know, these guys, they're doing alright, but he really needs more AA. There's now 0 Tunguskas here. Probably because he switched the whole thing on instead of just... Because with the Tunguska, right? If you didn't already know this. Maybe I should do a video on that as well. Wow, I gotta get my notepad out. What was the first video? Yeah, target switching. Warno. And then the second one was get my notepad out. That's all I remember saying. Tunguska in Warno, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, LG, like, you know, Blue's doing a good job with these planes, but it's mainly because Red is just being sort of regarded with their AA. So, all right. Well, what do I know? What do I know? Clearly, 50 plus 50 is 100%. So that is 100% of hitting if you fire 2 missiles. That's how that works. So clearly, I'm a big no-no. Anyway, I guess he's leaving them back here so that they just stay out of the siege range. The siege would have to fly really close. Ihawk's got higher accuracy, so that's only 60%, so I don't know why that happened. Anyway, I do upset people whenever I talk about stats. This is so symptomatic of what I was talking about. Like, I mean, it's better than not spending your income, right? But come on, man. You need another Ihawk. You need where are the Jaguar 2s, right? 2 Jaguar 2s here, where that Flieger, just in front of that Fliegerfaust. You'll be able to shoot everything, right? Cover all this. No, we must conga line. We must conga line. You know, maybe a mortar for smoke, because like this is a great place to throw. Is that gonna die? No, he just gets out. This is a great place to smoke. In the meantime, you know, these guys are micro in 2 fronts, so it's fair enough. And yeah, like, nothing's happening here, because what can happen? But taking this does help you secure this, so that is important. But this is only +1 in this version of the map, and this is obviously absurd in its design, as we spoke about at length. So M110's coming out, and, you know, this CV, it's not doing anything. It should be put over there. Yeah. The unspeakable one. I guess he was going for the Laro. I don't see how he'd be able to shoot that. It's out of range and out of vision. This needs a supply, right? It's almost burnt through all 18 of its missiles. And yeah, securing this is really helpful, because coming down this road is a total pain in the neck for both sides, because it's so open. Didn't used to be. It used to be very forested, but, you know, times change. And yeah, the Cubs just not being switched off or anything, so they end up going down. Now these have been pinged, so that's where he should RT. So you need to move them after they shoot, or that happens. The Prima, basically you want to launch about 20 rockets and then target switch. Because if you just fire all 50, then you can't use it again for 3 minutes. And there wasn't actually anybody there. But the trees are very dead. It's that line from Generation Kill. You killed the sand very effectively. You really airstrikes that sand. I can't remember the exact line. Anyway, yeah, that was obviously a massive waste of ordnance, but, you know, that's why we're here, to learn, to do some learning. So this guy's coming back. I mean, I guess he probably thinks there's nobody in here, but there wasn't before, now there is. There weren't before, and now there are. The Ihawk actually did get arted, so that's good news, depending on whose side you're on. But it's good from a they are learning, they are growing stronger kind of perspective. And yeah, this needs to move after it shoots, because, I mean, it was pinged, so it should have got shot at. Not sure what this was going on. And yeah, like, where's the AA? So these are amphibious, right? So if you're worried about people here shooting you, you just put them in the water. They should be on the rear side of the trees anyway. It's not like Broken Arrow, where there's, you know, AA basically has its own LOS against planes. It's not really affected. It's affected by buildings and rocks, but it's not affected by trees. And so you can hide behind the trees. At these kind of ranges, the T-72As sort of beat the Leopard 2 simply because you can get more of them for the same, you know, price, and at close range, really, really nice. But yeah, like, where's the ATGMs in this building? These buildings, where are they? What was that? Anyway, as we know, this is all messed up, right? Also, where's the burrito? This would be such a good burrito moment. But yeah, the Strelas, they need to be closer, and there needs to be an Igler in here. There needs to be a unit in here, right? It's just something, because, like, look, he's just... All this would get shot. If you had a guy in there, at least you'd see it. Anyway, this is... the Prima's not being reloaded, so it's 180 seconds. Obviously, you got to aim, right? So it's 165 seconds from when the first supply touches it. So, like, you still have to wait 3 minutes until, you know, until you sort it out. So, yeah, needs recon, really. The tanks are great, but he can't see anything. And this should be up here, you know? Or an Igla there, because it's got better stealth. Like this, it's blocked by the building, as we just spoke about. So you can put it, like, there, maybe, but you might get shot, so... It's like around here, or just in the taller one. But you don't want too many guys in the tall one, because you get shot. Anyway, that Prima was a really good idea, but he fired it in the wrong place, and he's not resupplying it. Okay, here it comes. Then it's got to wait 3 minutes. And he's not put a CV next to it. So we were speaking about this in the deck review, where it's like he doesn't have a cheap CV, so he needs his teammate to give him one. This needs to smoke. He's got 2 HP. So he sends it to the front, in front of all the other ones. And he gets hit twice and he dies. So, you know, that's life, and now the other guys are going to die too. Oh, he's going for the AA, that's smart. But yeah, there should be more AA. But yeah, that's very smart. Generally, what you want to do is wait until you got 2 bombers, and then you do it both at once, right? So that this should have been out a couple seconds earlier, and this should have been out a couple seconds earlier. Because yeah, it's a very nice idea. They're both next to each other as well. He's going to kill both of those. That's a shame, depending on who you're rooting for. And yeah, Red just not really bringing enough Strela 10Ms basically, and the Cubs keep getting seeded because they're not switching them off. So here we go. This is a good Prima volley. So hopefully this time he fires all the rounds instead of it. But yeah, generally you can do them in like batches of 25, and then you get 2 salvos in 3 minutes as opposed to you know, 1 salvo. Because as you'll know, like most of them have died, right? All the tanks have died. A bit of infantry doesn't matter. Okay, so he did actually. No, hang on. That's just because this reloaded it. Actually, it's another Prima. It was not even the one from before. Yeah, it's just this this filled it up. So he did fire all 50, I think. But yeah, you don't have to fire it, because if he'd fired 25, he still would have killed all the vehicles, and then he'd get to, you know, hit over here, or this Ihawk has just fired. Okay, that's great news. Now you can, there you go, see, this does 1 damage, this does 9 damage. Very popular, potent combo, that. Used to be a lot more popular before Cubs went to 4 per card. Now you just buy 4 Cubs. You know, two Cubs beats Cub Shilka, basically. Ihawks are still 3, so Ihawk Gepard's a pretty decent one, if you can fit it in. Anyway, you'd get 2 salvos in 25, and you'd still kill all the vehicles. Sure, these Panzer Grenadier would have 2 HP instead of 1, but I mean, it's a cluster, it's for vehicles, right? So yes, they're going for the AAA, which is very intelligent, and now they need to move. They sold the transports that came in. Okay, that's very sad. Anyway, you know, this needs to go straight back. So what you do is you click this, hold Shift, F, right-click, with Shift still held, F, right-click, and then it will just go fill up. Actually, it's like F. Is it F left-click? I can't remember. I can't check it. I'd have to stop the recording and go into a single player game. You get the point. Anyway, use Shift F and stuff. It might be left click, might be right click. And you just Shift F onto this. And then you right click on it, and then you Shift F back with Shift always selected. So like, you know, 25 rounds, right? Because like, look, he's moved. So the rest is just wasted. The rest are just wasted. There you go, so you did it actually. You split it. I don't think he got anything. You might have seen it move, actually. Not sure what the vision situation is here, but yeah, it's not going great for Red. I mean, he's sort of, you know, he's getting messed up, basically. And I can't remember, like, is he... I think he's only got the Unspeakable one as an ATGM thing. There you go, we got 2 Tunguskas out now. Wow, this is very powerful gameplay. Yeah, you'd expect PACT to just slowly arty everything to death. You know, they've lost a lot of ground, actually, which is not fantastic. There's only 17 minutes left. Losing those 2 T-80s was... What happened to that? Oh, he got Spalling, okay. He needs to smoke it. So he smoked with this. Okay, so just reverse behind that. Don't go straight backwards, because then... Or he could have sent this forwards and smoked it. That's a different player. But yeah, if you smoke with this and it's in the wrong place, just reverse into the smoke and it'll lose its tracking. Obviously, once you get so close, all that does is just get you side shot. But you're not going to survive a front shot from it anyway, so you might as well take that risk. This guy's being side shot by Panzer Grenadiers. And yeah, here come another 10 Marder 1A Milans, 1A1 Milans with associated inf. And red just kind of feeded a bit now. Really needs like an ATGM here, you know, an ATGM. These buildings should have ATGMs in them. The other thing is, why doesn't he use his air here? People keep sending air over the middle, which is the worst place to send it. How did they find that? It must have been a drone or something. Well, there it goes. I can't believe I didn't notice that. Must have been a drone. Because like, they both pinged it. They saw it somehow, at the same time. So it must have been a drone or a recon helo. I'm assuming it's a drone because it's not there anymore. I've lost my train of thought, but I'm sure it wasn't important. Like, this is just... yeah. Obviously there's more targets here, right? But here, you know, the AA that's here can't hit you. Do you know what I mean? So if you just fly into the middle, that's usually the place where the AA is strongest. So you should always try and use your planes on the flanks. Because... so if you come in this way, right, your plane doesn't just disappear. It has to evac, and it's going to evac left or right. So if you come in on the right, and you can even, like, you know, swing it round here first and bomb this, and then curl round to minimise your exposure. Right, you see people do that with AT planes to try and hit the side armour. It also has the effect of minimising the exposure. There you go, see T-72 at these ranges. Trades better against Leopard 2s. But yeah, if you come in, even if you just come in straight this way, okay, so then it's going to curl... you know, then you manually curl it right, and then you only face the AA that's here, not the AA that's here and the AA that's somewhere else. So yes, cool fight here, and it's just a case of, well, you just can't kill all these, there's too many units. You can't fire fast enough, this isn't even engaged. How many Milans are hitting him? What the fuck? Didn't even kill him? What? The power of the T-72 there. So yeah, typically you'd want to back this up with like a smoke mortar, and then you like smoke over here or something. Or, you know, smoke over this. Like, the smoking this is very powerful. I'm very surprised this has been allowed to sit here, but it's actually run out of ammo now, so he's probably not noticing it. But yeah, this guy just keeps sending his, keeps throwing that frisbee. Oh, hilarious! And he just keeps running into the infantry, and this just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and this keeps staying the same size because he buys something, just runs it in, buys something and runs it in. It's just not working. These guys are all 2-vet. Did you bring him at 2-vet in the deck review? I wasn't looking. Have they just killed... yeah, they must be, because look, they're coming in 2-vet. Anyway, these two need to spread out a little bit. You don't want two CVs on the same little bit of ground. I mean, if blue has any sense, the RT's coming on this. No, apparently this T-72 is more important than two CVs. Where are the 10... okay. He's nervous now. Yeah, you see one round on there, and he's like, oh, yeah, be a good target. And he's not wrong. So yeah, it looks like blue's going to take it. I mean, red's just sort of ran out of stuff. I do think their draft was better, but they didn't really leverage, like, we didn't see the burrito. In fact, yeah, imagine if these guys all showed up and the burrito was here. It would just kill them all. It would be actually pretty funny. People usually don't blob this much, which reduces MLRS effectiveness. But yeah, the Primas didn't have a CV next to them. Burrito comes out, 13 minutes left. I guess, you know, he's seeing the situation where it'd be useful now. And yeah, the Primas should just constantly be reloading and firing, and there should be a BMP next to them. Cuts down the reload time by like a minute, or like 40 seconds or something. So Alpha Jet rocket, it's obviously not going to kill it. That's not the point. The point is to lower its cohesion, so that it shoots less good, and then misses that CV, as you can see. Not this time. What happened to him? He got side shot, okay. Ugh, this could be going better, frankly. Is that a T-72 or a T-80? I think it was a T-80U. It's got two things on the back like that, but... I mean, all Soviet tanks basically the same. They're all crap. And they're all massively overstated in this game, because otherwise there wouldn't be a game, right? If it was realistic, Soviet Union would you'd start the game, nothing would happen for 30 minutes, and then the Soviet Union would collapse. That would be the game. So obviously people wouldn't find that particularly compelling. But yeah, I think this was sort of 2 players playing their own games compared to 2 players playing as a team. That's really the impression I got here. Whereas, you know, like, let's say, you know, so he's taken this and he gets in here, and then Red just, you know, Mr. Frisbee is like, okay, I'm just going to defend here. I'm not going to push. I'm just, because the reason he lost so much stuff is because he kept, oh, here we go, Burrito. It's because he kept pushing. So this isn't so good against vehicles anymore. Which is a shame, but there it is. Triple Vet Igla claims another drone. Must have been the drone, that's alright, man. So yeah, you can put it like back here, up behind this. Nobody's seeing it then. So yeah, you split the volley with the burrito, but it's all vehicles. It's all weapon ones. All the infantry died apparently, or most of it. This has 10 armor, so it's kind of hard to RT because it is just a tank. You zoom in on it. I think it's like a T62 chassis, or no, it's a T80 chassis, right? I think 50 kilometers an hour, maybe not. But if you look at like the front plate, the way the front plate is sloped, well, it might be a T72 chassis. Like I said, all Soviet tanks are the same. It's a shame he's not going for this. I guess he doesn't know it's there, right? RT Razvet could do it his best there, because yeah, you'll notice if you start buying, if you're on the blue side, you buy something here, it'll come, or like here, it'll come down this road and get shot. So you got to manually buy them here and then path them up. It's not fantastic. Not fantastic. So yeah, it's looking pretty Jova for Red. I mean, they just don't have anything left. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly, it's a shame to see this work. I mean, this is just send in the next wave. Like, it should be combined, you know. Get like, where's the recon? You know, get one Fliegerfaust, you know, couple Marders, couple Fliegerfaust, couple tanks, and then just do that every minute. So they're going to be a lot more useful than all of one and then all of the other and then all of the other. But obviously, it's a hard habit to get out of. But yeah, I think it just came down to, like, I think Red played too fast. Like, I think they had the better div for this map, but at the start they bought loads of planes and then they just got pushed out of all the zones because the helos didn't really work out. Whereas if they played slower, I guess they still would have been pushed out of the zones, but then they could push back in earlier. Because you'll notice, like here, Red still actually got back in. So if he'd had more ground forces, that just would have happened faster. I'm not sure the helos killed that much. They killed a bit. Yeah. And the rest just kind of comes down to micro and stuff. Like, Red bought loads of helos and they all died to planes. Because they didn't land them. And then they didn't buy enough AA at all. And then the AA showed up once everybody had died, you know, that sort of thing. But those 2 T80Us going down there, that's like 3 minutes income dying in a second, so it's not great. You know, 1/10 of the game. Something like that. Going up in flames in 1 second. So you gotta spread out a bit. Yeah, I'm going to speed up a bit because, I mean, this is looking pretty Jova to me. Looks like they're going to stick around for another 3 minutes, but, so we got a, you know, big hurrah here, but they're all just going to die, and, you know, Valamorgulis, or whatever, they're going to try and go for that Leopard 2, but, yeah, the natives are in here. And, yeah, Frisbee just kept running into Yorfish and dying. Like, he lost this zone, right? I mean, it's too far away anyway. He's on the bad side of the map, but, you know, so from, I think it was called Your Fish's Game, so there you go. You can blame this guy. The title of the lobby. Yeah, it's too far away anyway, but he just kept aggressively pushing into it and dying, whereas if he'd taken a more defensive posture and, you know, got the Primas out a bit earlier and done the RTing, you know, because I don't think the Primas really accomplished anything at all. I don't think they hit anything. So there you go. There was the surrender. It's like everybody else is sticking around, but Don't know why. So here you go, he's been taken over by AI now, and the AI says, I need to defend Anna, and then they'll just start freaking out. Actually, well, look at that. It's like giving an order every couple seconds. Anyway, it's like the score counted down, so... Yeah, there you go. Picks imbalanced map, then beats up all his friends. Many such cases. So these guys don't have a lot of games. You don't need a lot of games to have fun. And it makes it easier for me to cast it, right? So I cast tier 4 channel membership subscriptions at a rate of 1 a month. So if you beat your friends up, if you trick your friends into playing the wrong version of the map, they get the bad side and then you beat them up. It wasn't him. Then you can you can send in the replay, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was a pretty good game. You let me know what you think. The point I was going to make is it's easier for me if the players are worse, because then I have more stuff to talk about. Right. Anyways, I'll see you around. GG.